It's been a little while, and in fact it's been over a year since I made the last Man vs. Machine upgrade ideas video, and quite frankly that's just because Man vs. Machine isn't really all that relevant right now, and I personally haven't been playing it very much. But I did have a few people on my Discord asking when I was going to finish this series, and I figured now is as good a time as any. So we got a group together from Discord, and just goofed around and did dumb stuff in Man vs. Machine, and it was super fun. And if you haven't seen the other videos in this series, these ideas are primarily about being fun. You know, there'll be ideas to just make things more interesting and to give some more options to do fun things with. And this time, we'll finally be looking at the support classes of Medic, Sniper, and Spy. We'll start off with something so basic that I really don't know why it's not already a thing. None of Medic's primary weapons have any damage upgrade at all. And of course, if you're playing super seriously, you're going to be putting most of your money towards your Medigun, but why not even give the option? As I've said before in the other videos, if they really didn't want you upgrading certain weapons, why have any upgrades for them at all? So, I would just give all of Medic's primary weapons a standard plus 25% damage. Have it cost 200 credits with 4 max upgrades. And while it is super basic, it would give the opportunity to make the syringe gun pretty powerful. And as it is, I think the syringe gun is already pretty fun to use in Man vs. Machine. And then another really simple upgrade just to get out of the way, we could also give all of Medic's primary weapons a plus 25% projectile speed upgrade. It could cost 100 credits and also have 4 upgrades. Very straightforward, not very much to say. But yeah, now we'll get to something a little bit more interesting. So for the Mediguns, there's one that's by far and away the best for Man vs. Machine. You know, it's the one that lets you deal 3 times the damage in the game mode that's mainly about dealing damage. Of course, any Medigun can get the job done, especially if you're on easier missions, but the Kritzkrieg is king in Man vs. Machine. Something that I think might be nice for the Medigun and the quick fix at least, is an upgrade that would give you mini crits for a portion of your uber charge. Let's say an upgrade that gives you plus 4 seconds of mini crits during your uber charge, costing 200 credits with 2 max upgrades. So regardless of whether or not you have your uber duration increased, at max you'll only get 8 seconds. So this would kind of be like a weaker but more permanent alternative to sharing crit canteens, and it would also give a little bit more offensive use to those 2 Mediguns. I originally also had this apply to the Vaccinator as well, but I'm not really sure how that would work with the Vaccinator's split charges, and the Vaccinator's already pretty good in Man vs. Machine. It's okay. I'll just leave that one alone. But the quick fix, on the other hand, is kinda hard to think of a good use for. I mean, it can revive your teammates pretty quickly, but unless you really just want to use something different, I'm not sure why you'd ever specifically use the quick fix. Maybe there's a good reason to use it, like a specific wave in a specific mission, but I'm not aware of it, at least not offhand. And I do have an idea for a quick fix upgrade, but it might just be a little bit too good. A +1 max heal target upgrade, costing 500 credits with only 1 upgrade. So it would be a pretty pricey upgrade, but it would allow you to heal 2 people at once, uber 2 people at once, revive and heal someone at the same time, and share a canteen with 2 people. And it could even make it significantly faster for you to fill your projectile shield, since that charges with healing and damage dealt by your patients. So, potentially super good. Better than the Kritzkrieg? Probably not, but maybe a little bit too good for what it is. I mean, if it was too good, you could have some built-in downsides, where like maybe the projectile shield only builds off the first patient, or maybe you could just straight up have the heal rate split between the 2 people. So like when you're healing 2 patients at once, the heal rate is cut in half. And even like that, I think it would still have its merits, because the quick fix naturally heals very fast, and again, that's 2 uber players at once, 2 shared canteens, etc, etc. So it would certainly be a very powerful upgrade. Just how powerful, it's kind of hard to determine without it being real, but very powerful nonetheless. And Medic's melee slot is pretty much dominated by 1 weapon in MVM. Actually, it's pretty much dominated by 1 weapon in the regular game too, and in either case, it's the Vita-Saw. There's really no reason not to use it, and it doesn't even need any upgrades to be useful. But I still think we could give Medic's other melees some upgrades that'll make them a little bit more special. This Vita-Saw upgrade in particular might give the Vita-Saw a run for its money. It would be something like, gain 1% Uber on heal assist for each organ collected, 1 upgrade and 450 credits. So with this, you'd gain Uber depending on the number of organs you've collected whenever your healed target gets a kill. This would max out at 10 organs and 10% charge, and that's really good. But this does require you to buy an expensive upgrade, always have 10 less health, and those organs will reset if you die. And yes, robots in Man vs. Machine do spawn regular organs, for some reason. This would definitely be a very powerful upgrade for the Vita-Saw, and the Vita-Saw would still have its regular uber-retaining gimmick as well. It's not that useful, but it is still there. And I do think this would make for a decent alternative to the Vita-Saw, maybe even a little bit too good, since like you could kill 5 robots and gain 50% charge. That's a lot. If it is too good, you could always reduce the max to 5 organs, making it a max of 5% per kill. But either way, I do like the concept of this upgrade. It'd be cool to see how it works. For the Amputator, I think we could give it an upgrade that makes its healing aura linger for an additional 5 seconds after the taunt is ended, costing 200 credits with 2 upgrades. That way the healing effect remains for up to an additional 10 seconds even after you're done taunting, and presumably the heal effect would start moving around with you once you start moving as well. But this would give you a way to basically heal your whole team while not completely limiting your movement. And for the Solemn Vow, I think a nice simple heal target can see enemy health upgrade would be fine, costing 150 credits with 1 upgrade. This, obviously enough, will allow your patient to see robot's health in the same way you can when equipping the Solemn Vow. And on a side note, why can Medic with the Solemn Vow equipped see enemy health in Man vs. Machine, but Spy can't? I don't really see a reason not to let Spy see enemy health, but I guess we'll get to Spy stuff when we get to Spy stuff, because now we're going on to the Sniper upgrades. So, just to get this out of the way, a long time ago, I made a video talking about Pyro, Spy, and Sniper basically being underused in Man vs. Machine. And while Sniper is still fairly underused when just playing with randos, he's not only not bad in Man vs. Machine, he's incredibly good. The Huntsman, on the other hand, is not. The Huntsman is really underwhelming in Man vs. Machine, and that disappoints me. The biggest reason why it's nowhere near as viable as the Sniper Rifle is that it doesn't have an explosive headshot upgrade, which is probably one of the best upgrades in the entire game mode. If the Huntsman had that, it would be way better. But at the same time, that's really boring. That's not unique. What I think you could do is add something kinda similar, something like a timed explosive arrows upgrade, costing 300 credits with 3 upgrades that increase the damage in the radius. Instead of exploding on headshot, they will explode 3 seconds after they land, regardless of whether or not they hit a robot. Meaning you could shoot it at a surface and still cause an explosion, and create like mini time traps. And you could just shoot it at a robot, and then 3 seconds later that arrow explodes, blam! But because they wouldn't require as much accuracy as the explosive headshot upgrade, they would be generally weaker. Instead of the explosive headshots base damage ranging from 150 to 190, the arrow's explosions would range from 100 to 140 based on the upgrade amount. So realistically, this is still not as good as the Sniper Rifles, but it is a big upgrade for the Huntsman. Also on the topic of the Huntsman, the bleed upgrade is not very good, and I think you could at the very least make each upgrade also increase the damage of the bleed by 25%. So at 2 upgrades it would deal 10 seconds of bleed, and each tick would deal 5 damage instead of 4. It still wouldn't be very good, but it would be better. The Sydney Sleeper is a very fine weapon in Man vs. Machine. It's fine, it's good. But since they got rid of the JARATE explosion stat in the regular game back in the Blue Moon update, I think I would be okay with them adding it back in some form as an upgrade. Basically, it would have fully charged shots splash JARATE on any nearby robots. And then you could have it cost 350 credits with 1 upgrade, and yeah. The Classic though, the Classic is not fine. It's really bad. And you know what's kind of interesting, is that while it does have the explosive headshots upgrade, it only works when it's fully charged. But the Sydney Sleeper, even before it mini crit on headshot, could still use the explosive headshot upgrade just by targeting the head. But with the Classic, even if you get a headshot, it will only work if it's fully charged. So it took me a while to come up with something to make the Classic better, and I did, but it's not really something super unique. This upgrade, that we'll call the Classic upgrade, is kinda designed to make it a little bit more like the actual TF2 Sniper Rifle. And it will allow the Classic to headshot at any charge percent, and also slow targets by 50% for 5 seconds on body shot. This upgrade would only cost 200 credits with 1 upgrade. And right off the bat, allowing it to headshot at any percent makes the explosive headshots activate at any percent, which makes it way better. The Team Fortress Classic Sniper Rifle also used to have your target speed on leg shot, and I kinda just expanded that to body shots in general, but that will allow you to significantly reduce the speed of any robot, but most importantly things like giant scouts. But in reality, even with this upgrade, the Classic would still probably take a backseat to most other sniper rifles, but this would make it better, and it would make it at least a little bit more unique. And moving on to sniper secondaries, the SMG is another one of those weapons without a damage upgrade, and I basically think that every weapon without one should be given the option, including melee weapons. So just like the syringe guns, it's 200 credits, it's 4 upgrades, blah blah blah. But I also think it would be really fun if the SMG got an upgrade that let it mini crit on headshot. That, combined with the faster firing speeds and the damage upgrades, and I think would actually be really fun. Imagine a whole team of SMG snipers doing that. It would be great. And of course, all of these changes would also apply to the Cleaner's Carbine as well, though the Cleaner's Carbine is already pretty useful in Man vs. Machine, just not as an actual weapon, but because of what it allows you to do with the Bushwhacker. But with these upgrades, it would allow you to deal more damage with the actual gun itself, which would be cool. So the only one of Sniper's wearable secondaries to have an upgrade is the Razorback. And all it is just a faster recharge. But I think for all of these backpack secondary things for Sniper, we could give them a minus 30% push force on wearer upgrade. It would cost only 100 credits and have 3 upgrades. Just like Demoman's shields, it'll reduce the knockback you take from robots and prevent you from being bounced around as much. Then for the Razorback specifically, this idea came from 10,000 Volt Ghost on my Discord. And what he suggested was to give the Razorback a Shockwave upgrade that costs 350 credits, and when your Razorback is destroyed, all active spy bots will become disabled and revealed for 3 seconds. Personally, I think 3 seconds is a bit too short. You can make it maybe 5 seconds or maybe even 10. But I do like the idea. It could make waves with a ton of spy bots significantly less annoying. But for the Darwin's Danger Shield, on the other hand, I don't really know. I'm not really sure how you can make it useful based on what its stats currently are. I guess it helps you escape from pyros, and I suppose in that theme you could give it something like a speed boost when below 50% health upgrade to further increase your ability to escape from danger. It would cost only 100 credits and have 1 upgrade, and I still don't think it'd make the Danger Shield very good at all, but it would be something, and something's better than nothing, I guess. And finally, for the Cozy Camper, you could give it a primary ammo regeneration upgrade. It would cost 350 credits and could be upgraded 3 times, with each upgrade increasing the regeneration speed. At 1 upgrade, it would be 1 ammo every 5 seconds, at 2 upgrades every 3, and at max upgrades, it would be 1 every second. And that could definitely come in handy. You would almost never have to worry about searching for ammo. Alright, and now we have to talk about Spy, which is kinda tricky for me personally because 1, I'm really bad at Spy in Man vs. Machine, and 2, don't even really like playing him. I think he's especially unfun in early waves when you don't really have any good upgrades, and the Sapper and armor penetration upgrades I think are just too pricey to begin with, but I also would generally like to see Spy buffed in Man vs. Machine. Again, a long time ago, I did mention the idea of giving Spy a slightly increased credit collection radius, as well as have him heal off collected credits, but at a significantly lower rate than Scout. And because Spy does need to get close to deal damage to robots, he is going to be where the credits end up being most of the time anyway. He's an okay credit collector, so it might make sense to have him benefit from that. It could either be a basic Spy trait, or it could be added through an upgrade, but I do think it would help. And moving on to Spy's revolvers, you could probably already guess what I'm going to say, is give them a damage upgrade. 200 credits, 4 max upgrades. But what I also think might be fun is to give the revolvers a no damage fall off upgrade. That way they'd actually be pretty good from a distance. And then you could have it cost like 200 credits with 1 upgrade. I assume the Diamondback is probably the most used revolver, and obviously crits would already ignore fall off anyway, so it wouldn't really benefit the Diamondback that much, but it would benefit the others. And one thing I've always wanted Spy to have is a faster Sapper recharge upgrade. Like, to me at least, sapping robots is probably the most satisfying thing about playing Spy, but having to wait 15 seconds between uses is really annoying. But because by default the Sapper recharge is faster than things like Mad Milk and JARATE, you could probably have each upgrade increase the recharge amount by 10% instead of 15%, but you could also have it be slightly cheaper as well, being 200 credits instead of 250. And I think that alone would make Spy a lot more fun. And you may have noticed that I did skip over Spy's knives, and that's cause, quite frankly, I don't know what to change about any of them, if anything. I guess at the very least you could give the Your Eternal Reward instant disguises on backstabs instead of the delayed thing it has now. Well, I mean, what's the deal with that? Is it for balance reasons? I don't think it would be broken if the Your Eternal Reward didn't have a delay, but could be an upgrade if you want it to be. And in general, I do kind of like the idea of giving some weapons upgrades that allow them to drop small ammo on kill, so that your team isn't always constantly scrambling for ammo when you don't have an engineer. And I do think that that specific upside could work well with some of Spy's knives, like maybe the Big Earner, for example. But I don't know for sure. And then there's kind of things like, what if the Sapper could slow down tanks so that Spy could be semi-useful versus them, because there's really not a whole lot he could do against them right now. But now I'm just rambling, so let me know your ideas for Spy knife upgrades, or any upgrades in general. We have a whole section on Discord for discussing this kind of stuff, and if you want to potentially just goof around in Man vs. Machine, we will probably be doing events kind of like what you see in this video, so if you're interested in that, you can come join. Come join the Discord, it's in the description. And of course, as always, I want to give a special thanks to Cool Stuff, Varric, and Captain Forex, as well as everyone else on Patreon. And did I mention that this video was brought to you, yet again, by the Ridge Wallet? Wait, that's not the Ridge Wallet, get that out of here. Now there it is. Now that's a wallet. The Ridge Wallet could hold up to 12 cards, plus cash, and comes in over 30 colors. And you could get 10% off with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/breakfast with a link in the description.